Are companies like yours still hiring and doing internships during COVID?
So we are hiring. Our internships have kind of been put on pause. So right now, I think we're trying to figure out as a company how we can potentially make that work in the future, because we think it's really important to, invest in developing the next generation of journalists. We're really trying to be cognizant of who we sort of let into our building. And I think one of the difficulties that we face right now is, the value of an internship is really being in the environment, right? Seeing how it works, seeing what happens when there's breaking news. And so if we're trying to keep people apart, it's kind of difficulty. Those goals are kind of at odds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't imagine how difficult it is. And we have lots of students who are doing virtual internships all over the country now, all
Mm-hmm.
from their dorm rooms or Ames, Iowa, and it's working out okay.
Okay.
Actually, sometimes even better than okay. But they all miss the environment. The unfortunate things, they may not actually know what they're missing.
Yes,
Well,
that's
they
true.
get in there and start mixing it up. But at least it allows them to play along. Okay, so KCCI, it's the dominant news station, television station in the region. What are your goals for the Jumpstart internship and networking fair? What are you looking to do? What are you looking to accomplish at Jumpstart?
I think the most important thing for us is really someone who really wants to come in and learn. Really, it's very important, I think, to be coachable and, really listen and really try to take in all of the things. We've got, one of the great things about KCCI is we've got a lot of journalists with a lot of experience. And so there's a lot of knowledge there that interns and first time, people in the first job can learn from. So I think really, we want people who are willing to take feedback and kind of incorporate it into what they do.
That's great. Are there specifics even further within that you're looking for in terms of job skills, job titles, how much experience before they talk to you? Can you speak to that?
I think for a first job, we want somebody that has been in a newsroom environment. It's a little different. It's different than I think a lot of other workplaces. And so, we want to make sure that people kind of know what they're getting into, that they know the pressures and, sort of the chaos that can potentially ensue at any point with breaking news. In the long job titles, I would encourage journalists to look at the idea of producers. Producers are always in demand. And, there's a lot of, I think there's some benefits to it. So, and I say that because you can move up very quickly as a producer compared to someone who typically a lot of people want to be on air. And so there's a lot of advantages if you find that you like the idea of producing. You can advance quickly. You don't find yourself in some of the situations that are difficult for reporters. You don't have to be out actually in the snow when it snows or the rain. And you can find yourself also, I think, our reporters and photographers find themselves literally on the front lines of some of the issues that face our society today. When covering protests, our journalists sometimes find themselves in the middle of those issues. And so as a producer, you're not always on the front lines. You can be a witness to history without maybe being on the front lines.
That's really cool. Are you looking to hire in the near term or develop relationships for the long term, or both?
I would say both. So, especially with producers, we don't necessarily expect them to come in and have a full breadth of experience. From reporters, we want to be able to, we have to be able to put them on TV pretty quickly. So they need to have some decent presentation, writing, reporting skills for us to be able to hire them right out of school. So producing, there's an expectation that we'll probably have to do a little bit more training there. So, somebody that was right out of college would be qualified for producing a producing job, but we do want to make sure that they've had some exposure in terms of a newsroom environment. They kind of know what they're getting into. They know that the expectation is that they're going to work weird hours. They're going to work weekends. They may have to work. It's not a 9-to-5 job. They're going to probably may work overnights or holidays. And we just kind of want to make sure that, it's different. If you get into the newsroom and you think this is where I want to be, then it is where you want to be. But it's kind of one of those things that really kind of takes being in that environment, I think, to kind of take the temperature of whether it's the right place for you.
Okay, I have one last question, and it sort of wraps up a lot of stuff you've been saying. Is what does it take for a student at the Greenlee School to impress Allison Smith?
I think it's putting in. I think it's putting in extra effort. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times these jobs, it really kind of takes getting repetition, getting the reps in whatever it is that you want to do. And to be honest, in a college environment, it usually means going above and beyond, seeking out opportunities to get feedback from professionals. If you're doing an internship, for us, it means, doing the things that you want to do, you would be doing in the job. So if you want to be a reporter, going through the exercise of putting together a story, voicing the story, doing the stand-ups in front of the camera, going through all of those things and doing it over and over again so that you develop. And it's just going to take extra effort, I think, from a college student. Showing that you've got the fortitude, that you're willing to go the extra mile, that generally tells me that you're going to be willing to go the extra mile when you're in a real newsroom environment, and that's extremely valuable.